Welcome back to the highlight show of the 2022 Senior Caribbean Squash Championships held at the Liga Club in New Kingston, Jamaica. It was time for the third contest of the veterans tie to get underway, and Lorian Foley of the Cayman Islands met up with Guyanese Tian Edwards on the court to rocket things off. Lorian Foley was looking for her second victory of these championships. Interestingly, Diane Julian of Trinidad and Tobago lost to both of these ladies, and for that it had everyone keenly looking to see who would win this battle. After replacing her hip about 10 years ago, Lorian was not so sure she would be able to continue playing squash, but after recovery herself could not believe it was another swept series of the day. Lorian Foley was just too strong for Tian Edwards. 11-3, 11-5, 11-2 is how Lorian went about her business. These are the highlights. Ricardo Chambers and Marlene West were the commentators.
We're getting ready for the third match in this Cayman Islands versus Guyana veterans tie. Lorian Foley taking on Tian Edwards. The points were not very long. I don't think we had a rally beyond 6 shots. It was that type of a match, pure power, very little to no defending, and it was Foley who was coming out on top more often than not.
Yes, for sure. I think the power of her shots, kind of threw Diane off, and Diane just couldn't control them. So she was always attacking, I would say.
Yeah, she definitely was at that lovely backhand release. And there she goes again. And there, a forehand to finish it off.
Yeah, Lorian is one of those tenacity players that she'll just keep going. She doesn't, she'll almost, for want of a better analogy, when you're down, she'll kick you when you're down too.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, you must be good. You were hammering forehands and backhands, and you were hitting winners all over the squash court today. Talk to me about your performance. You must be really happy.
I was happy. I think, you can't take anything for granted in squash, so you just got to make the winner. Because as you see, like if I messed up, she was in there with the points, so I had to go hard.
Yeah, Marlene West said you're that type of player who will kick the other player when they're down.
Well, I don't know that. I just love hitting the ball, so if I have an opportunity to hit it hard, I'm going to.
Yeah, you certainly did that. I mean, what does this mean to you, to be able to compete at the Caribbean Squash Championships for your country?
I never thought I would be able to play squash again because I had a hip replacement about 10 years ago. And I actually stopped playing squash about 21 years ago. So I didn't even think I'd ever get back on court. And to be here at CASA is like amazing. I can't even believe it.
So with the veterans tie completed, the women's team tie was up next. Guyana had a 3-0 lead over the Jamaicans, and Melissa Lou Yen of Jamaica and Ashley Degroot of Guyana was battling each other in the fourth encounter. Having won herself a bronze medal in the women's singles, Ashley Degroot continued her form, taking this women's tie against Lou Yen in straight games, 11-4, 11-2, 11-2. Here are the highlights. Gerard Morris Seeley, Marlene West and Joey Levy were on commentary duties.
And we turn our attention now to the women's tie at the final 2 games. Guyana right now leading 3-0 against Jamaica. Melissa Liu Yang coming up against Ashley Degroot in this one, game 4 of that 5-game tie. 3-0 to Ashley Degroot, 11-4, 11-2, 11-2. And made it easily taking this one. And 4-0 for the Guyanese up. And it was a pretty easy match for Ashley Degroot, who would have finished 3rd in the singles. And then now she was looking to capture that team crown now for her country. And she was pretty much in control pretty much from the start.
Yeah, from the get-go, she was definitely in control. I think it was just to maybe get, feel the ball out. I don't know if, I think this might be the last match for the ladies of the tournament. So, it's ending with a bang for the Guyanese team.
Yeah, well, she wanted to get a good start for the Jamaicans, Melissa, but had a good few moments in these games, some bright moments. In the 3rd set, she came out a little bit more aggressive, but in the end, it was all about Ashley Degroot and the Guyanese taking this one and giving her team the 4-0 advantage in the tie. Ashley, You would have already won the women's doubles and taken third in the women's singles,
Yes.
and now you can pretty much add the team event to your accolades.
Yeah, it's been a great week here. My teammates have really pulled through. We dominated the singles, and we continue to pull that through in the team event. So, very happy.
What would you say, though, is the reason for such Guyanese dominance, especially on the women's side in squash?
I think half of it has to do with our competitiveness. So I find, at least in the Caribbean, a lot of our competition is at home. So you really have to work hard at home just to be good in your own country. So when you come to tournaments like this, it really shows. And then the second thing would be coach, which is, we call him Coachy, but Carlins. I think he's played a major part in our dominance throughout the years, so I would give him a lot of that credit as well.
Abosede Cadogan of Guyana and Mia Lake of Jamaica took the court for the final match in the team series. Cadogan was playing her second game of the tournament, while Mia Lake made her first appearance in this team series. Abosede Cadogan swept the series 3-0, but at no particular point in that contest was it ever easy. It was a scoreline that did not tell the full story of what happened. Mia Lake put up a great fight but was bettered in the end by Cadogan. It was also a swept team series by Team Guyana. These are the highlights. Ricardo Chambers, Tajay Lumley and Joey Levy were on commentary duties.
It is Abosede Cadogan of Guyana taking on Mia Lake of Jamaica. Mia Lake looked a little bit nervous for the first 2 or 3 points in this match. She got into her own, she challenged in the opening game, but for most of it, it was pretty clear that the Guyanese was the more composed of the two players, the more confident of the two players, and she remained steady and in control for most of this one.
Yeah, Abosede was a stronger player for the most part. Mia had her moments where she challenged, but just not quite consistent enough. And in the end, a pretty comfortable win for Abosede.
Yeah, Mia Lake finishing face down as the Guyanese dominate the women's category here at the 2022 Caribbean Senior Squash Championships at the Ligoni Club in Kingston, Jamaica. Abosede, first of all, talk to me about that encounter.
It was a good match. I thought she played well, but obviously I knew how to execute my shots and perform them well, and I came out victorious.
Yeah, of course, she came out all guns blazing, really hitting the ball hard. What was the game plan for you?
Well, I didn't really have a game plan, but my aim was just to go out there, play my shots, try to get my shots tight. Well, that was the game plan, try to get tight shots, enjoy the game mostly.
And how important was it for you to get that victory and give Guyana the 5-0 victory in the tie?
Well, it was great. Even though my team already won, I still feel proud to bring it to 5-0, that we won 5-0. So that was great. I feel very proud of myself and my teammates.
And you're confusing our viewers a little bit by wearing that Jamaican shirt. Tell me the story behind that.
Well, this is the only shirt I had in my bag.
Well, there you go. That's a good one.